Dinosaurs ruled the earth for over 165 million years. There were many theropods throughout the Mesozoic era that were extremely formidable. We've picked 72 that dominate the others. In this show, we will talk about these dangerous animals, including when they lived, what they ate, their weaponry, and how humans would fare if these creatures were still alive. From the tyrant lizard king, to the lord of the lizard eaters, to the meat-eating bull, this is 72 Dangerous Animals Prehistory. Magnosaurus grew up to 13 feet long and weighed up to 386 pounds. It lived 169.7 to 169.5 million years ago in England.
Magnosaurus is often confused with Megalosaurus and was even originally named as a species of Megalosaurus. But then, which theropod wasn't? Paleontologists are kind of stupid sometimes. Magnosaurus, while not a species of Megalosaurus, is still within the Megalosaurid family. The holotype specimen was possibly a juvenile, meaning adults could have been larger than 13 feet. Its arms were long and muscular. Its hands had 3 fingers with sharp claws that would have been used to slash at prey. Magnosaurus lived in coastal regions and river valleys. It fed on herbivorous dinosaurs that were smaller than it. Magnosaurus would have been speedy. It could run down a human and take them out with its sharp claws and teeth.
Magnosaurus takes first for now. Up next, the single-crested lizard. Monolophosaurus grew up to 18 feet long, weighed up to 1,047 pounds. It lived 168 to 163.5 million years ago in China.
Monolophosaurus was a medium-sized carnivore. Its skull was over 2.5 feet long and had a crest covering the majority of the top of its skull. The crest is what gave Monolophosaurus its name. Monolophosaurus means single-crested lizard. The crest is formed from its nasal bones and was likely used to attract mates. Monolophosaurus lived alongside the shores of the ocean. Monolophosaurus worked together to kill sauropods and stegosaurs as their prey. Monolophosaurus would have had a bite force of almost 9,000 newtons. This is comparable to an Allosaurus of a similar size, and if it was scaled up to the body weight of a Tyrannosaurus rex, Monolophosaurus would have had an even stronger bite force than the tyrant lizard king. This pack hunter would have made short work of a human.
Monolophosaurus overpowers Magnosaurus and takes first. Up next, a small feathered theropod. Dinobellator grew up to 10 feet long and weighed up to 90 pounds. It lived 67 million years ago in North America.
Dinobellator, the Navajo warrior, was a medium-sized dromaeosaur from the late Cretaceous period. While the bones were originally discovered in 2008, Dinobellator wasn't named until 2020. This is more evidence for paleontology as a field being underpaid. If these people were paid more, dinosaurs could be named and described much faster, and our taxonomic process involving dinosaurs would be vastly improved. Dinosaur genera and species would be combined, resulting in much less types of dinosaurs, due to so many fossils being nearly identical, but named as separate genera due to a lack of understanding of these fossils. If paleontologists were paid more, the general public would have a much greater understanding of the prehistoric world. Dinobellator had very flexible hands and feet. It had a tighter grip strength than other dromaeosaurs, as well as a more flexible tail. Quill knobs on its arm bones were preserved, meaning that Dinobellator was feathered. It likely preyed on turtles, fish, mammals, and small dinosaurs. Dinobellator may have been a decent threat to humans, but probably wouldn't go out on the hunt to kill you. It still could kill you though with its claws and teeth.
Dinobellator wasn't as much of a threat as our other two predators. It slides into third. Incoming, one of the most famous dromaeosaurs. Deinonychus reached lengths of up to 11 feet long and weighed up to 220 pounds. It lived 115 to 108 million years ago in North America.
Deinonychus, the terrible claw, was a medium-sized dromaeosaur from the early Cretaceous period. It is one of the best-known dromaeosaurs and is closely related to Velociraptor. Deinonychus was an important factor in the realization that birds are dinosaurs. Firstly, its forelimbs were nearly identical to Archaeopteryx, identifying a link between dinosaurs and birds. Secondly, fossilized Deinonychus eggs were discovered next to adult Deinonychus skeleton, revealing that Deinonychus was a nest brooder. This meant that it would have sat on its eggs to incubate them, and was warm-blooded. Lastly, fossil evidence suggests that Deinonychus was active and agile, traits not commonly associated with dinosaurs until after Deinonychus' discovery. Additionally, Deinonychus likely had feathers. Deinonychus had 70 curved teeth in its powerful jaws. And Deinonychus, while only weighing a maximum of 220 pounds, is thought to have hunted in packs to take down prey, such as Nanotyrannus, that could have weighed up to 4 tons. Multiple Deinonychus skeletons of different age groups and numerous teeth have been found preserved alongside Nanotyrannus fossils. A humerus from Nanotyrannus even contains bite marks from a Deinonychus. It is thought that Deinonychus could use its 4.7-inch long sickle claws, as well as other digits to grasp prey with its feet, much like a modern hawk. It likely had a locking ligament in its foot that allowed it to grasp and perch, just like modern birds. Deinonychus would have jumped onto the back of its prey and caused as much damage as possible using the claws on all 4 of its limbs, as well as its teeth. It likely pinned down its prey using its claws, then fed on it while it was still living until the animal died of blood loss and organ failure. While in battle with prey, Deinonychus could use its arms to balance itself. It had a bite force potentially pushing 8,200 newtons. Deinonychus was an expert climber, capable of scaling trees. Its forelimbs were very powerful and were capable of grasping objects such as prey or branches of trees while climbing. Additionally, Deinonychus was capable of flight. It could have launched itself from a tree and dropped onto the back of its target, or taken off from the ground and flew for short distances. Deinonychus would have been a very efficient human killer. Running at speeds of 25 miles per hour, it could easily run down a human and pounce, or drop from the sky and tackle you. Not to mention, it would have likely been accompanied by another 4+ raptors. Its relatively small size would have allowed Deinonychus to enter buildings and to continue the chase, so while you could have escaped larger dinosaurs this way, this would not work on Deinonychus.
Deinonychus may have been on the smaller side for a theropod dinosaur, but it was a very efficient and deadly hunter. It leaps into first place, pushing Monolophosaurus to number 2, Magnosaurus to 3, and Dinobellator to 4. Up next, Liliansternus lizard. The 17-foot-long Liliansternus skeletons found may have been juveniles, leading to a maximum adult length of 30 feet long. They would have weighed from 441 to 2,000 pounds. Liliansternus lived 228 to 201.3 million years ago in Europe.
Liliansternus was a large neotheropod and is the best represented European Triassic theropod in the fossil record. It is also one of the largest known Triassic theropods. Liliansternus is possibly an intermediate form between Coelophysis and Dilophosaurus. Liliansternus likely had a crest on its head like Dilophosaurus. Liliansternus had 5 fingers, however its 4th and 5th were smaller than the rest. The Liliansternus skeletons found had features suggesting that they may have been juveniles. If this is true, the adults would have been the largest Triassic theropods at likely over 30 feet long. Liliansternus was an active hunter that preyed on large herbivores, such as Plateosaurus. It used its sharp teeth to take out these large proceropods. It also hunted ornithischians, which it could easily outrun. Liliansternus could run up to 30 miles per hour to chase down prey. It was approximately 5 feet tall. It could easily outrun a human and finish them off with its dangerous weaponry.
Liliansternus was speedy and well equipped for successful hunting. It takes second, pushing Monolophosaurus to 3rd, Magnosaurus to 4th, and Dinobellator to 5th. Deinonychus stands strong in 1st. Incoming, the horned lizard. Ceratosaurus grew from 18 to 25 feet long depending on the species and weighed up to 2,160 pounds. It lived 153 to 148 million years ago in North America and Portugal.
Ceratosaurus was a medium-sized theropod from the Jurassic period. It averaged around 18 feet long, however one species reached lengths of up to 25 feet. Ceratosaurus is named for the horn on its nose as well as another 2 horns over its eyes. The nose horn was likely used for attracting mates. It had short arms similar to that of Abelisaurs, however its arms were slightly longer proportionally and its limbs were fully functional, unlike those of Abelisaurs. Ceratosaurus had 4 fingers on each hand. It had osteoderms on its neck, back, and tails to protect its body, much like modern crocodilians. Ceratosaurus coexisted with Torvosaurus and Allosaurus. Large Allosaurus would have been in direct competition with Ceratosaurus. These 40-foot-long Super Allosaurus would have pushed Ceratosaurus from its habitat. In sites where both Allosaurus and Ceratosaurus fossils are found, there are 7.5 Allosaurus for every 1 Ceratosaurus. Ceratosaurus preyed on medium-sized herbivores and likely fish. Its teeth were very elongated. The largest Ceratosaurus skull was only 6 inches wide. Ceratosaurus would have made a quick, slashing bite to kill its prey. Ceratosaurus would have caused a very gory human death. Its thin skull and long teeth would result in deep cuts. You would likely bleed to death quickly and then be eaten.
Ceratosaurus would have caused a gruesome human death. Its power still can't compare to Deinonychus' speed and cunning abilities or its group attacks. Ceratosaurus takes second, pushing Liliansternus to third, Monolophosaurus to fourth, Magnosaurus to fifth, and Dinobellator to sixth. Deinonychus finishes in first and moves on to our finalists. Next episode on 72 Dangerous Animals Prehistory, our mid-season finale, featuring the giant thief, Herrera's lizard, and the tyrant lizard king. A new study from 2024 provided evidence that Nanotyrannus is a valid genus, rather than being a juvenile Tyrannosaurus rex. The Tyrannosaur skeleton in question was found to have been a nearly fully grown adult based on growth rings in its bones, weighing in at 3,000 pounds and measuring 17 feet long. Adult Tyrannosaurus rexes grew up to 43 feet long and weighed nearly 20,000 pounds. This definitely settles the debate on this case. In each episode, we will rank the creatures from 1 to 6 on a scale of how potentially dangerous these creatures would be to humans, and the winner of each episode will showdown with the other 11 finalists in the season finale to decide on which prehistoric creature was the ultimate human killing machine.